There are two big problems with the Bible. The first is that the author actually is dead. Whoever wrote the various books have passed on and can no longer provide their interpretation of their writings. Even if you consider God to be the writer, he doesn't exactly provide explanations of what's meant in his book. The other problem is that the Bible is very open to interpretation. There is a lot of metaphor and parables and so on, and they don't always have an explicit meaning. So you have a book, or books, depending how you look at it, with multiple possible meanings, and no way to know which meaning is correct. So the solution that we've come up with is that we just kind of trust somebody else to interpret what it means, and then they sort of justify their interpretation, but as long as it's consistent with what our beliefs are, we kind of accept what their interpretation is. The problem is, there's no guarantee that other people's interpretations are correct any more than our own. Here's an example of what I mean. The year is 1517. The Roman Catholic Church has a monopoly on Christianity, and if you want an interpretation of the Bible, it comes to you from the Pope. Now, one such interpretation is that in order to get into heaven, you have to do certain good deeds, and these are called indulgences. The most common of these indulgences is giving money to the church. Now, there was a German guy, named Martin Luther. He took a look at the Bible and he said, "Now hold on just a second. I don't see anything in here about paying money getting you into heaven. This is not a good interpretation of the Bible." And so he came up with a list of 95 reasons why indulgences are a bad interpretation of the Bible. And he took this list and he stuck it on the front door of his church. Now the Pope found out about this, and he basically said, "My interpretation isn't wrong, you're wrong." And he kicked Martin Luther out of the church. And to make a long story short, a lot of people ended up leaving the Catholic Church and forming their own church with an interpretation that they liked better. So in summary, the Bible has a problem. The author is dead, and there are way too many interpretations of the Bible. It's become divisive, and it's hard for different denominations to get along because of it. People have literally died over this issue, and that's just the people within the church. Robert, I look forward to your next video.